You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drakewing Gaming, and so you now to the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of In Case of Emergency, and this time we are doing Cedric's Path. So yeah, before we jump into it, just want to let y'all know that our Patreon is now for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel, get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming Not Safe for Work videos. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alright, going with Cedric, baby. You wander the castle halls looking for Cedric, poking your head in and out of the many rooms of the Citadel. You don't find him, but you do discover several empty kitchens, lounges, and studies, each of varying style and size. One room you think is a huge indoor pool. It's only when you spot a sink and a toilet that you realize it's a bathtub. What is that noise? Something outside. Finally, one nondescript door at the end of the hall opens into a second, smaller hallway. This hall is adorned with maps decorating its walls, ceilings, and floors. Some of the maps are familiar. There's a few continents and countries that you recognize, but the vast majority of them are completely foreign. The maps depict places you've never even heard of. Some of them look like crude renditions by children. Others depict entire galaxies and star systems. Cedric sits on a bench by a window, staring at the ceiling. Hey! Cedric's ears perk up at your approach. Oh, hey! This is the map room. You follow his gaze, your eyes tracing a meandering route around the arched ceilings of the hall. It seems much bigger than just a room. It has a map of every place ever, I think, or just a copy of every map ever. I still haven't figured it out. Check this out. Cedric rises and approaches the map from across from him. It's old, crafted with ink on parchment. A sea serpent slithers through a roiling sea. You don't recognize any of the names on the map. Cedric gently places his paw on the parchment and gives a slight push, meeting some resistance before the panel starts to slide open. Each map has or had a corresponding door. He slides a portion of the wall open, but there's nothing there, just the darkness of void. But not anymore. Why not? The end of the world, most likely. He sighs. I first came down here when I was a freshman. I took a wrong turn, went down those steps, and ended up here just like you. 4 years ago? That's when you guys started drifting apart. You used to be inseparable, then suddenly 10 years of friendship treated like an awkward one-night stand. You didn't know what had happened. Most of your time together on campus was spent avoiding eye contact with each other. The only acknowledgement that you'd ever known each other in the first place. Well, that and the BFF's Forever pendant the two of you ironically got. You still have the first half stuffed away in your sock drawer somewhere. You had the BFF 4 portion. Best friends for a certain period of time, and no longer, you guess. Ask if he still has it. Do you still have the pendant? Huh? You know, the one that says BFF's Forever? Well, yours said FS ever. Forever's ever. So you know. Cedric. Water time. Alright. No, sorry. You stand in uncomfortable silence for a beat. In the 9th grade, you were going to start a band together. So, what did you do down here? Cedric's expression grows nostalgic. It was quieter back then. Just Remus, the servants, and all the Peregrine to explore. He looks out a window, the gray sky casting a gloomy light on his face. You look out the window too, and see flat plains of purple-gray grass, some dying farmsteads, and a handful of bleak-looking trees. There's an ominous, stark mountain range in the distance. It's obvious Cedric is seeing something else. You feel not for the first time in your life, like you've arrived late to the party. Anyways, the resolution wasn't so close at the time. Remus was expecting champions soon, but there was still time. I was the first one to come down here before Wes and Luke, I tried the amulet, the shield, the sword, and the amulet burned me. The shield was too heavy and the sword wouldn't come out of the stone. But, you know, when people come from the outside world, that means they're destined to be a champion of some sort. So Remus figured it just wasn't my time yet, and he helped me train. When Wes and Luke appeared, they picked up the shield and the amulet. We assumed I was supposed to wield the sword. I just needed more time. Well, it turns out that wasn't the problem. Cedric blinks, wrinkling his nose like he's tasted something sour. He's processed something he feels embarrassed about, but he's also embarrassed to be feeling that shame in the first place. At least you think that's what he's feeling. It's been a while. Maybe his entire facial repertoire has changed in that time. So, it's gonna be my job to train you. Come on. He rises, pulling a very real-looking sword from the scabbard hanging at his side. Should we be using training swords? You don't think he would skewer you to the wall, but the two of you have gotten into worse accidents. No, I'm not good enough to hurt you, and you're not good enough to hurt me. He smirks, readying his blade. Oh. Fight. You raise your sword to meet his, just like when you were kids fighting with sticks. You always won those fights, or if you didn't, you could always demand a best out of 3, or 5, however many it took. Except this time Cedric easily outclasses you, his sword parrying your feeble attacks without much effort. He whacks you with the flat of the blade, once on your collarbone, another time on your wrist. Just a friendly reminder that he was right. He's too good to seriously hurt you. The bruises tomorrow might say otherwise, though. You're quickly losing steam when Cedric forces you back. You stumble backwards as he goes on the offensive, and you find the tip of his sword gently pressing against your chest. Counterattack. Give up. Counterattack. Okay. You lunge forward, aiming your sword for his ribs. Cedric easily sees the move coming as he knocks aside your blade with a flash of steel. You never had a chance. Good effort. You could get good with some practice. It's like, no, water time. It's hard to tell if he's being sincere. Right now, you're too tired to try and decipher if he means what he says. It's time to move on. Who do you visit next? We'll do Luke. You wander deeper through the halls until the sound of clicking keys catches your attention. Peeking into the door, you're greeted by the sight of an old library. Huge shelves of books spiral past the first floor and into uncountable floors above, wooden banisters supporting a winding, rickety staircase with polished steps. You can practically smell the wood varnish and parchment from the doorway. In the center of the room is Luke, hunched over a table as he flips page after page of a dusty tome, taking notes in his laptop. In his laptop, okay. His mouth is pulled in a thoughtful frown as he speeds through the book. Piles and piles of books are stacked around him like a defensive barricade. Hello? Kieran, how's it going? Come here often? Luke's eyes snap upwards and the pensive look is gone, replaced by his usual self-satisfied smirk. No, actually, first time. Figures. I feel like I'd have recognized you if I'd seen you here before. What's up with the books? Luke glances down at the mess below his paws, looking almost disgusted by the disarray. Nothing, just looking for something. The world building in this place isn't very thorough, though, so it's hard to find anything useful. World building? Yeah, world building, like details about how the world works. Lore, geography, population information. Every person who took a shit last Friday at noon. What are you looking for? The end of the world, ideally. Remus says this stuff happens in cycles, so someone has to have written about it, right? Who would have written about something like that? People who write stuff down, obviously. He holds up several books, pointing to each author. Arthur Higglesbottom, Genevieve Potter's Lane, Irving Minestrone, a bunch of medieval-sounding names that escape your memory as soon as they enter. But these books are useless. There's nothing in here that Remus hasn't already told us. What has he told you? Oh, the usual. There's a big, terrible thing called the Resolution that's going to destroy the world, blah, blah, blah. It leaves behind this thing called Void. That's the empty pockets you saw earlier in the hall. And eventually this whole place will become like that, unless we stop it. It's not very original, if you ask me. Right. Do you believe in this stuff? You keep talking about this like you don't really believe it. Where even are we? Is this real life? What even is reality? You pull a face. No one's ever in the mood for an undergraduate philosophy discussion. Just kidding, that was a joke, on purpose. Honestly, I don't know, but hey, check this out. Luke takes a step away from his desk, facing a bookshelf against the back wall. He bends his arms so that his paws are stretched away from his face. Wingardium Leviosa! The contents of the entire bookshelf fly from their shelves in a cacophonous flutter of paper and binding, dust blooming around the site of destruction. There you go. Water time. Books stood over one another on the hardwood ground, others ricocheting off nearby bookcases and off the table. Loose papers fly from their bindings and spines crack. Pretty cool, huh? The Forces displaced a necklace around Luke's chest, an amber-gemmed amulet that glows faintly with residual magic. No way, this place is magic too? Whoa! That's neat as hell! I know, right? Oh, excuse me. The dust begins to settle on the covers of the scattered books, revealing the state of disarray the library has fallen into. Do you need to reverse Leviosa this, or...? What? No way! Magic is supposed to be cool. It's for fireballs and death rays, not house cleaning. Besides, magic's better for breaking things than fixing them. Luke shrugs. Someone will come and clean this up eventually, and if they don't, well, the world's gonna end anyways. What do you think is gonna happen when the world ends? When everything dies? I don't know. I assume we'll all be shunted back to the real world, and we'll never be able to come back here. His nose twitches in irritation. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to help out with this quest or whatever, but I'm not exactly overflowing with optimism. You don't think we'll be able to reach the mountain? Grim Mountain? Sure, we might even be able to stab the heart of the world with your big, massive, throbbing sword, but what then? I thought that was supposed to fix everything. Maybe it'll be like turning it off and back on again. None of the books mention anything about this. Whatever, my job is to be the sarcastic auntie here with the heart of gold. I'm leaving the worrying to everyone else. Luke smiles ruefully. With a snap of his fingers, the books lift themselves from the floor and shake off the dust that's landed on their covers. Their spines snap back into place, folded pages uncreasing. The books form a single-file line as they begin to shelve themselves again, each slotting itself in its proper place with a satisfying shunk. An errant book nips at Luke's arm before he tells it, "Hey, watch it! I'm not doing this for you!" The book tucks its ribbon between its pages, pathetically cowering from him. "Yeah, that's right. I'll make a bonfire out of you, thought suppression style." The book cards its pages in fear, and Luke frowns as he bats it back into line. Can you actually understand what they're saying? No, obviously not. When's the last time you understood what a book was trying to say? He's got a point. So, can anyone learn how to do magic, or... Sorry, I'm the only one who gets the power, thanks to my swag bling. He holds up his amulet with his thumb, the gem pulsing gently with power. You're a little disappointed, but it feels ungrateful to complain about what flavor of chosen one you get to be. Hey, don't worry. Swinging around a big stick is cool, too. You think so? Ha! No, carrying a big stick is fine, but talking as loud as possible at all times is cooler, like this. Fire! Luke's hands light up in flames, leaving streaks of light as he moves them through the air. 1 second, y'all. It is, in fact, water time. He juggles orbs of fire from one hand to the other, mimes shock at nearly dropping one, then catches the airborne flames handily in a single paw, extinguishing them by closing his fist. Don't try that in a crowded theater. Do you have to shout a word every time? No, you don't have to do anything. But why do magic if you don't want everyone looking at you? Luke shows you a few more moves, clearly enjoying the chance to show off his powers to someone new. He produces a miniature hailstorm, moves a coin from one ear to the other, and produces a porcelain tea set from a pocket dimension. Eventually, he informs you that he's running out of juice and shoos you out of the library. He has work he should be doing. Who do you visit next? Wes. As you wander through the castle, you're drawn towards the sound of metal hitting metal. Grunts of exertion leak out of an ajar door in the hallway. Either people are fighting with swords or a bunch of robots are having group sex. You should probably check it out just to make sure. As you get closer, you can see that the sounds seem to be coming from a training room of some kind. Looking inside, you see a sandpit lined with dummies made of straw and burlap. Dull swords and shields hang from the stone walls. But the main attraction is the fight taking place in the center of the room. Wes wields a circular steel shield on one arm, rotating in place as 3 other fighters attempt to surround him. He never lets them. One breaks formation too early, lunging at him with their sword, but Wes easily knocks aside the attack with his bulwark. He moves fast, each paw finding quick, confident footing in the loose sand below him. He catches your eye, then knocks back one soldier with the surface of his shield, catches the hilt of another sword with the edge of his shield, and sweeps the leg of the final assailant out from under him. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. But before I go, y'all, I want to give a quick shout out to my lovely patrons. Thank you to all of our bronze tier patrons. We appreciate everything y'all do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your donations. And thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silvermoon. Thank you for going a little bit above and beyond. We really, really appreciate it. And for our gold tier patron, Amr, thank you so much for just getting the ultimate tier. We greatly appreciate all the contributions you provide. And to anyone else, if y'all want your names in the credits after the videos, and all it's got to do is subscribe to our Patreon for as little as $5. Anyway, I love you all. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!